Sarah, you recently shepherded through a new piece of EU law, which for the first time will give anyone arrested in another EU country where they do not speak the language the right to high-quality free interpretation. Why do we need these new language rights?
Well, we've needed them for a long time. I'm very proud of this piece of legislation. For 10 years, we've had measures like the European arrest warrant for cross-border police cooperation, so that you can find someone who can be arrested in one country and transferred to another EU country for trial. What we haven't had is a sort of safety net of rights for suspects and defendants to make sure that they get a genuinely fair trial. And so finally, the European Parliament has been calling for this for many years. Finally, we got the opportunity to start having a series of laws, and this is the first one. And MEPs were able to share we had equal rights in deciding this new law. And I think we did a good job so that anyone who is arrested or put on trial in a country where they don't speak the language will have a right to free translation and interpretation. You can't have a fair trial if you can't understand what's going on.
Do you think this would have made a difference in the case of Gary Mann, an English football supporter, currently serving a sentence in Portugal for football-related violence during the 2004 European Cup?
Yes, the Gary Mann case was a travesty of justice and was recognised as such. He was accused of football violence. It was a kind of fast-track procedure. He didn't have a clue what was going on from beginning to end. He never had any proper translation or interpretation. I think the cafe owner's wife from next door to the court, tried to help him a bit with some broken English. I mean, talk about unprofessional. And the whole thing was, as I say, complete miscarriage. The fact that he was then finally transferred back to Portugal under a European arrest warrant continues to be an outrage, quite frankly. So that was a very clear case, but there are others where the lack of good language rights has completely undermined people's rights to a fair trial. And that's completely unacceptable in the European Union.
Are you confident that within the EU we can have full confidence in each other's justice systems?
Well, I think we have to do a lot more work to make sure that that is the case. I don't think we can just sort of blindly trust, quite honestly, in the quality of criminal justice all around the EU. No country is perfect, even mine, the UK. And so we have to have a very strong programme to raise the standards of criminal justice. And I believe that fair justice is effective justice. If you get botched trials and people who haven't had a fair deal, actually it takes a lot more expensive to unravel that than if you had Rolls-Royce trials in the first place. So cheap justice is not good justice. If you're going to have effective fighting crime, then you need to have good, well-run trials and respect defendants' rights.
Thank you very much, Sarah.